In this tutorial, we'll set up a webhook in Odoo from scratch. Webhooks are HTTP callbacks that push data to external systems in real time whenever something happens. By the end, you'll know how to create a webhook, configure authentication, customize the payload, test it, set up automated triggers, and monitor everything from the analytics dashboard. Open the Settings app. In the top menu, you'll find a webhook section. It's organized into 3 areas. Hooks is where you create webhook actions and automation rules. Analytics is where you monitor traffic and review logs. And configuration is where you set up reusable authentication profiles. Let's go to Hooks, then Actions. This is the list of all your webhook actions. Click New to create one. Every webhook starts with a name and a model. The name should describe what this webhook does. I'll call it Notify CRM on Contact Update. Next, select the model. This tells Odoo which type of record this webhook is connected to. I'll pick Contact. Now enter the endpoint URL. This is the web address of the external system that will receive the data. It could be a REST API, a Zapier hook, or any service that accepts HTTP requests. Below the URL, choose the HTTP method. Post is the standard for sending data. Get is for triggering actions without a body. Put is for updating resources, and delete is for removal. The timeout defaults to 25 seconds. The send type controls when the request fires. Immediately sends it right away. Post commit waits until the database save completes, so the webhook won't fire if the save fails. And cron job queues it for background processing, which is ideal for high-volume scenarios. Now let's configure the HTTP headers. Click on the Header Values tab. A content type header is already set to JSON. If your API needs additional headers, like an API key, you can add them here. Click Add a Header, enter the name, then set the value. Now let's control which data gets sent. Click the Fields tab. By default, the webhook sends basic information like the user ID, model name, and record IDs. To include actual record data, add fields explicitly. Click Add a Line. A dialog shows all available fields for this model. Select the ones you want, like name, email, or phone. Only these fields will appear in the payload. This is important for security. You only send what the receiving system needs. On the right side of the form, you'll see toggle switches for advanced features. Adapt URL lets you build dynamic URLs with Python code. Adapt Headers does the same for headers. Apply Authentication connects an auth profile. Adapt Payload gives you full control over the JSON body. In-process response lets you handle what comes back from the server. Let's look at the most important ones. Toggle on Adapt Headers. A new tab appears with a Python code editor. Here you can write code that runs at request time to build headers dynamically. You have access to the current record, the user, and the full Odoo environment. For example, you could generate a signed authentication header or set a custom correlation ID per request. Now toggle on Adapt Payload. This is probably the most powerful feature. Instead of sending the default JSON structure, you can write Python code that builds the exact payload your external API expects. Here's an example. Since a webhook can fire from multiple records at once, we loop over the record's record set. For each contact, we collect the tags, build a formatted address, and append a dictionary with name, email, phone, company, address, and tags. Then we wrap it all in a result dictionary with an event type, the contact list, and metadata like who triggered it and which database. The result variable is what gets sent as JSON. Toggle on Process Response. This opens 2 tabs. Process Response runs Python code after a successful request. You can extract data from the response, update Odoo records based on what came back, or trigger follow-up actions. Handle error runs when a request fails, so you can implement custom retry logic or send notifications. Let's set up authentication. Toggle on Apply Authentication. Click on the Authentication tab. Here you create or select a reusable auth profile. I'll pick the warehouse bearer token that's already configured. Let's open the form to see the details. The module supports basic auth with username and password, digest for more secure credentials, bearer token for API token authentication, and full OAuth 2 with client credentials or password grant. Each profile is reusable across multiple webhooks. Before going live, test your webhook. Click the Preview button. A dialog opens with a sample record already selected. You'll see two options. Send request controls whether the request actually goes to the server. Reset changes rolls back any side effects. Click Send. The Headers tab shows all HTTP headers. The Payload tab shows the JSON body with your record data. If sent, you'll also see the full response. This is invaluable for debugging before going into production. Right now, our webhook is a manual action. To fire it automatically, we need an automation rule. Let's switch to the automation section under hooks. Click New to create a rule. Choose a trigger. When a record is created, fires on new records. When a record is updated, fires on changes. You can also trigger on deletion or based on a time condition. Select the model, then link your webhook action. From now on, the webhook fires automatically. Let's look at the monitoring tools. Under Analytics, Traffic shows a line graph of all webhook requests over time. You can see spikes, patterns, and trends at a glance. The Hooks view gives you a pivot table breaking down requests by webhook and status. Quickly see which webhooks fire the most and how many succeed versus fail. The Requests view logs every individual call. Each row shows the date, webhook, method, URL, and status. Click any request to see the full details. Headers, payload, raw request and response, and any exceptions. If a request failed, click Resend to retry. That covers the complete setup. You now know how to create webhooks, configure authentication and headers, customize payloads with Python, process responses, test with the Preview tool, automate with triggers, and monitor from the Analytics dashboard. Webhooks for Odoo. Stop polling. Start pushing.